Now, Miss Megan, girl, I took you at your word. I did. I took you at your word, and you said you wanted a new start, a new fresh start. Child, Miss Megan, you just as messy as you was, child, back in 2015. I said, interesting. Listen, we're in Orlando now, and it's supposed to be a fresh start with old messy ways. Let's get to it. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. Listen, this is my review for Basketball Wives Orlando. This is season 1, episode 1. From the looks of things, I think they'll be around. I think they're going to make it. By George, I think they're going to make it. We got Megan James from Basketball Wives LA all the way back, like back in 2015. She's a social media maven at this point, and she says she's coming here. She wants to have a new start. I kind of knew when I seen her sit down with Shawnee. I said, okay, so Shawnee, because I said, how is Shawnee going to fit this? So Shawnee is raising the girls up, right? Come on, Shawnee, each one teach one. So Megan, this is your spin. Here we go. And when I heard you say, well, I admit, I've had a few players, referees, and a few agents. I said, when you lead in with that kind of a little tagline about what you done and where you done been, I said, oh, okay. But then you said, the quieter you move, the more money you get. Now, there's the tagline right there. The quieter you are, the more money you get, which means, girl, you ain't changing nothing, but you're going to try to keep your mouth shut. And we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, girl. Anyway, you perfect for this. You perfect for this. I just laughed. I laughed my butt off. And her and Shawnee sat there. She said, I'm new to Orlando. I want to calm down from where I was in LA. I want to just basically get a restart and I want to meet up with the ladies. I'm just going to reach out to them. And Shawnee told her, just chill. Just chill, kind of try to stay drama free as much as you can, and just chill. Megan ain't got no chill, child. Anyway, so the first girl you see is Ashley Snail. Um, yeah, Miss Ashley. If throwing a rock and hat in your hand was a person, I believe that person would be Miss Ashley Snail. But is she has a boutique and business. She came right out and said, you know what? I made my first million before I ever even met my husband, Tony Snail. And she had 2 children. She has this athletic leisure wear line, which seems to be doing very, very well. But right away with Ashley, I just kind of looked and I said, I don't know. I don't know. Something, because she really painted this picture really quickly in the first 10 minutes that she kind of sugar didn't melt in her mouth. And you would have been cast if that was the case. You would not have been cast on Basketball Wives if that were the case. So something I said, and the more I watched, I said, yeah, yeah. I think that Ashley is a little bit scary. She's a little bit scary, yet she's vicious like a black mambo, honey. Vicious and sly. And she knows how to push buttons. and she know how to play the game. And even from what they showed going forward, oh girl, you like to call the popos and all kind of stuff coming up with. I said, oh yeah, girl, if hiding your hands, throwing all kind of rocks, I think that's you, Ashley. And I'm gonna be watching, so you can prove me wrong. You prove me wrong, I'll come back down and I'll apologize. For some reason, I don't think I'll ever have to issue that apology. Anyway, so again, I'm just taking it all in, okay? First episode, y'all know what first episodes give, but I'm like, okay, cool. Let's see what's going on. Next, we meet Morgan. Morgan is in the beauty industry. She has an ex-husband, Eric. I didn't hear so much about Eric. Let me tell you, in the first 1 hour of the show, I am sick of Eric's ass already. I am sick of Eric. I ain't even seen Eric. I don't know what Eric looked like, but I'm sick of Eric's ass. You hear me? So she got 3 kids. We see a little scene with her and her mom. She's a single mom. Her mom doesn't live there in Orlando, but her mother kind of bounces around. Like, I guess she must have other daughters and stuff, because she said, you know, me and my nanny duty. Either she's actually a nanny or she was referring to like her having other sisters or brothers, and she's doing that. But mom is kind of fly and kind of feisty, but I guess we'll see mom popping in and out. Morgan is an interesting personality, explosive personality. I believe Morgan's going to become very tiresome to us, because she got to calm down. She got to calm down. I think she's still a lot hurt from the divorce and trying to find her space, but she's on explosives and she is like on 9. Like, it seems pretty much most of the time. So I'm like, girl, you could, girl. She's going to be a lot to handle. She'll be a lot to handle. One thing I did notice, the word ratchet kept being thrown. Ratchet, 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 ratchet out of Ashley. Ashley liked that word, ratchet. What that mean, Ashley? Because I don't see none of y'all no different than the others. So what does that ratchet thing mean? And Ashley and Morgan were friends. They were friends, but they fell out. Okay? They fell out. And one of the biggest things is that Ashley was allegedly facilitating Eric in cheating on Morgan. She was like helping with moving women in front of him and different things like that. So, and that's supposedly allegedly. And we'll talk about that a little bit more later. But yeah, I think she's still angry. I think Morgan is still angry about the divorce, still angry about what's come out in the divorce. That's what I keep hearing. It all came out in my divorce. It all came out in my divorce. So their court proceedings must have been a hot ass mess. And a lot of stuff was revealed, and it's playing out now. And she's angry. She's sitting on 9. Okay. So we'll see. So Megan throws this brunch, brings some ladies together. And in that brunch, we met Neek, who is an influencer. She actually is a basketball player's girlfriend, who actually lives 3 doors down from his baby's mama, which is McKenzie. We met McKenzie. You bear watching. McKenzie bears watching. I'm going to talk about McKenzie in just a second, but she bears watching. McKenzie and Ashley are friends, and I understand why. I definitely understand why. Yeah, you bear watching. She's not to be trusted. You got Morgan, and then you had Ashley and Ashley's girlfriend, Parnia. She brought Parnia with her, and she stated that she brought Parnia with her. She don't really know what the energy is going to be like between her and Morgan, so she just brought Parnia with her. And I kind of looked at Parnia like, well, what's she going to do if something pop off? Because she just is another made up Barbie doll. Like, it ain't like you brought like Thug Misses in there with you brought Parnia. You know, so I was like, whatever. But anyway, so they come on down. Shortly after them being there, you see Morgan and Ashley. Well, Morgan actually ran up on Parnia and was like, girl, I don't know you. And why you giving me crazy looks? I was like, whoa, Morgan, wait a minute now. So is this the ratchet stuff that we're talking about? Like, girl, like who does that? Like who literally runs up on a bitch up in a place you don't even know them because they're looking at you? I'm like, girl, now I was ready to drag because they kept saying ratchet. She kept saying this ratchet thing. But that's ratchet and that's ghetto. And that's ghetto. But right in this part of the show, I said, wait a minute, Morgan, you coming across like a little bit of a bully. You're coming across as a little bit of a bully. In your mind, I know you already know you can whoop Ashley's ass. That is very apparent that you know you can whoop Ashley's ass. Because the way you ran up on Parnia, and then when Ashley got involved, you was all in her face and all this kind of carrying on. So I think that's where the ratchet thing actually came from. I'm gonna say this: it's all a play. It's all a play. It is who Morgan is, and then when it comes to Ashley, Morgan, you on 9, and I think what helps you stay on 9 is this. It's kind of like a bullying thing. You know that she's scary, and you know you can whoop her. So you really didn't have no problem running up on her. I don't know about you and Parnia because you didn't really know her, but I guess you figured she wasn't able to paint that Barbie doll too. So the way you ran up on them screamed bully. It did scream bully. It did come across ratchet. So I had to eat up my words a little bit. But at the same time, as I watched, I saw Ashley knows how and when and where to push Morgan's buttons. They were friends. So that's all there's to it. They were friends. So she knows how to make the best of her time and making you look a damn fool. And at that brunch, she had you looking a damn fool. Well, you did it to yourself when you came in. That eyeliner, that greenish eyeliner, that was the first mistake. But girl, you had that on and you was giving, and then you came in there acting like Cruella de Vil. I said, girl, stop. So that was a whole mess. And now I'm laughing at Megan because Megan was like, I don't know if I should invite these girls here. I don't know these girls, but these girls clearly don't know how to act, and maybe they don't even like each other, baby. I don't know about this. So I was like, But later on, Miss Megan, really? Maybe you shouldn't have invited them. Isn't that right, Miss Megan? We'll talk about it. Moving on. Later on, we end up meeting Mulan, and she had met up with Neek and Morgan. And there was a whole little chit chat there. And the base of it, what was said there was that as long as McKenzie is cool with Ashley, she gonna be side-eyeing her. I said, that Morgan, honey. So again, I'm like, what's up with Morgan? But no, Morgan, she knows these people. She don't really know McKenzie all that well, but she know enough to know that they are really out here pushing her. But it literally took me the full episode to see what was really going on. Because at first, I really just thought that Morgan was just a live wire. But no, they know how to work Morgan. But it's going to be on Morgan to keep them from making her pop off, because popping off is going to get you in trouble with them. You are playing checkers, my dear. And these hoes are clearly playing chess. This part of being young. You got to figure it out, sis. You got to figure it out, because just 1 hour of watching, they got you in a trick bag. They got you in a trick bag. You're gonna have to figure it out. Seriously, you're gonna have to figure it out for your well-being. You got kids, and girl, these girls ain't worth it. I just see right now these girls ain't worth it, and they got you in a trick bag. But anyway, moving on. Then we see Ashley out with Tony, her husband, and she's talking, and he's pretty level-headed, and he's like, well, at least you have someone to vent to, which is something these other girls don't have. You just kind of agree to disagree. So basically, I don't know if Tony, the comment, I took it two different ways, because you ain't laying up with her every day and don't notice she is a gaslighter. You're not laying up with her every day and don't notice she like a black mambo snake. And maybe there was a little bit of shade in that whole comment of you got somebody to vent to, which means you got a man at home and they don't have a man at home. I said, oh, Mr. Tony, you throwing shade? Don't let me find out that Mr. Tony is Miss Tony and you run around throwing all type of shade, honey, and giving Miss Honey. Yeah, listen, ain't nothing like old petty ass husband. That's what the bullshit as well. So I don't know. I was like, don't you hear me calling you Miss Honey? I don't know, but I thought there might be a little shade in that comment. But when he told her just agree to disagree, so just keep on playing victim. And as we went forward, we see she's not a victim. She's not a victim. This is all stuff she didn't put in. She didn't put these balls in spin, honey. But anyway, whatever. We keep watching. Then we see Neek and McKenzie. And this is where we got to see McKenzie and what McKenzie's all about. Messy ass McKenzie. So McKenzie has children or has a child by Neek's boyfriend. Okay. And by the way, Neek is built down. Like she's a big girl. Like she's like Amazon type big. Like she's statuesque. Built like a brick shithouse. Like a brick shithouse. I said, girl, you better. Yeah. Her body is fire. I was like, oh my. She got a whole bunch of everything, but it's all she just her body is just beautiful. It really is. I said, oh my, just juicy. I said, oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. When she was out there playing basketball with Mulan, I said, Miss Thing, you better make these girls eat, honey. Her body is something serious. Really sharp girl. Anyway, so in McKenzie's confessional, she basically purposely moved 3 doors down the street from Neek and the ex. And she thought it was cute. And she's talking about, well, I did that for my son and also for Neek. So you a messy bitch, is what you're saying. You moved 3 doors down the street from them so you can keep your eye on her. Jealous much? Ain't over your ex much? Came across really shady. I said, okay, I'll be keeping my eye on you. You messy. And I'm not getting energy like that from Neek. Neek, whatever happened last summer, they had a lot of tumultuous time because they actually sat and they talked about it a little bit, saying they're glad they moved on from it. And Neek has come straight out and said, you know what, I grew up in a blended family and I really don't want any drama. I want to be able to just coexist the same way my mom and my sister's mother actually do. I want to be cool. I don't want to have no problems. But McKenzie seems to be very open for any type of problem that Neek will allow her to have. I said, oh, okay, Miss McKenzie, I see you, girl. And I see you. Anyway, moving on. Morgan ends up having this golfing party, which ended up getting rained out. Okay. And at that golfing party, we met Lindsay. Lindsay is pregnant and messy as the hell. Okay. Lindsay is pregnant and she is messy. I said, whoa, okay. So Lindsay came and she was a plus one. She came as somebody's plus one. Wasn't even invited. But once things got rained out, they had to go to the inside. So they're all inside and they're all sitting. Everybody's there except for Ashley. Okay. Everybody's there except for Ashley. Lindsay ends up telling, Morgan was like, not Morgan, Megan was like, well, let's just kind of talk, because they said, well, this is a big group. So let's just kind of, Lindsay said, there's a big group of women. Let's just, if there's a lot of subgroups and it seems like a lot of people got a lot of things, so why not just put it all on the table and we could discuss it and then we'd be able to move forward. I'm like, who is we? Because like, you're a plus one. So who is we? So Megan was getting ready to start with, I believe, something with McKenzie and maybe Morgan or something. Child, when I tell you that Lindsay butted in, it was like, oh, no. What I was actually talking about, Megan, is how like you used to mess around, or you were messing around with Morgan's ex, Eric. And I was thinking, do you have something you want to say to her? And honey, I'm looking, and Morgan's looking at Megan, and Megan's looking like, oh, you messy bitch. And she said in her confessional, she's like, bro, you weren't even invited. You're a plus one. And for real? I said, sure. Listen. Anyway, so she ends up saying, well, yeah, she says, I wasn't getting ready to do that. I really was going to pull you to the side later on and tell you I just didn't think it was something that we would discuss in front of all of the ladies, because we don't all really even know each other like that. But I did date. I went on a few dates with your ex. And I'm sorry, at the time, I did not know about you. I said, oh my God, child, where's Evelyn, honey? Evelyn, ain't this your basketball wife story, honey? But I didn't know you. I didn't know about you, this, that, thing, and the other. And we never had sex. We just went out on a few dates and everything like that. Well, I was shocked because Morgan said, well, no, girl, it's cool, because it all came out in my divorce. I knew about it. I said, this divorce, we watched the wrong show. We needed to have a reality show about this divorce. I told y'all I'm sick of that goddamn Eric, and I ain't never even met Eric. Eric is a goddamn mess. So she said it all came out. So it got swiped right out of her. I said, oh, sorry, Miss Lindsay, that fell flat. So then Mulan actually ends up adding, because they started talking about Ashley. Ashley's name came up. And she said, I don't really mess with Ashley because I was there when the stuff went down, basically between Morgan and Ashley. And then Ashley also befriended an enemy of mine, knowing that it's an enemy of mine. So I don't have no problem with her, but I just kind of got my good eye on her. I just don't mess with her. I just got my good eye on her. I don't like the way she moves. So McKenzie basically asked them, she said, so am I the only one here that actually has a relationship with Ashley? And they're like, yeah, nobody else here really do her. And she's like, okay, well, I can leave the table and then I come back when y'all are done with the Ashley stuff. And she was like, Morgan said, no, because you sit there quietly when Ashley talks about us, so you could keep sitting right there. I said, oh, here comes Miss Morgan, honey. So you can keep right there and sit here quietly and shut up while we talk about her. I said, oh. I was like, well, McKenzie, you didn't have to ask permission to get up. Just get on up and move on out. You have to ask permission because, girl, they denied you the permission to get up and leave, honey. And then you didn't. Oh, no, we don't talk about you. She said, I don't want to hear it, honey. You do. I know you do. I know you sit. And y'all talk about me, honey. And y'all talk about my ex and all of that. And you sit there quietly. You can sit there quietly now. I was like, here she go on again. So then Megan kind of jumps in and says, Well, girl, I mean, Miss McKenzie, listen, I don't even know you like that, but the only person that knew about the stuff with me and Eric was Ashley. And then you have been bringing it up. You've been bringing it up. And the only way you would know that is if you and Ashley have been talking. Because I also know that Ashley spends a lot of time talking to Eric on the phone because Ashley is now friends with Brianna, who is Eric's new girlfriend. And she spends a lot of time talking with your ex, Miss Morgan. And yeah, you really brought some stuff out that you could have only known from actually talking to her. So yeah, girl, you be sitting around and y'all be talking about folks. I said, oh Megan, Megan, I thought you said I thought you said at the top of the hour that you wasn't being messy no more. Girl, you brought the drama, honey. You got your lick right on in. I said, oh Lord, honey. So that was a whole little thing right there. I said, oh my. So Morgan was like, listen, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna reach out to Ashley and I'm gonna talk to Ashley. We're gonna have a little sit down because ain't enough room for both of us. We're gonna have to figure something out, or somebody gonna have to go. And then we got Ashley talking the same stuff. So last thing we see on this episode, we got Ashley and Morgan. They sit down together. Ashley comes in. Morgan says, okay, hi. They gave all a little fake, hey girl, hey girl, hey girl. You got something you want to say? Ashley looked up at her and said, no, I really don't. And she was like, really? Really? She said, so you clearly are out here messing around. You clearly are throwing rocks, hiding your hand. You being sneaky. Said you a sneaky bitch. You done went and befriended Brianna, and now you run around and you sit around chit-chatting with Eric. You chit-chatting with Eric. You in and out of my situation. Now she mixed in this whole thing about that's my kids and all. I was like, I don't know. I ain't heard nothing about no kids or nothing like that. Now at this point, Miss Morgan, girl, you putting 20 on 10. Now I get it. You know your girlfriend is a snake because y'all used to roll together. And I'm sure y'all did some snaky shit together. But ain't nobody said nothing about your kids, girl. Now you putting 20 on 10. Or maybe that's something that's coming down the pike that we don't know about. But you know about how Ashley moved because obviously y'all was moving like that. She told her about like when you first came, I'm the only one. I was the one who was a friend to you and was cool with you when nobody else cool with you. And now you doing well. I mean, you find you a snaky bitch and y'all be doing snaky shit. That's generally what happened. I mean, at some point, y'all turn against each other and then y'all do what y'all do better to each other than y'all did it to other people. That's just kind of how it works. And she's like, first she tried to deny some stuff and she's like, She said, no, are you stupid? It ain't happening. It ain't happening, Captain. Honey, that when Ashley was sitting up there like, what? And she said, girl, I already know about things that you done did and done said, girl, because it all came out in my divorce, stupid. It all came out. It all came to the surface. And you did bring women for my husband. You did do it. You did orchestrate. Baby, when I tell you that Ashley jumped up and said, I'm leaving. I'm out of here. I said, hit dogs will holler, honey. She hit it and ran on up out of there, baby. And they got outside and they was at the cars and they going back and forth, back and forth. And Ashley basically got shut down like she was looking very guilty. Y'all tell me in the comments, what do y'all think? Did it seem to you that Ashley was very good? For me, it looked like she was really guilty as charged. And I don't think she actually knew everything that came out. And they have like clips of Ashley talking smack about their relationship and stuff. Like earlier on, I said, girl, I think she was guilty and caught in the headlights. I don't think she knew everything that actually came out that incriminated her during those divorce proceedings. But baby, it was all, I said, oh my goodness. And honey, she was just too through. And she was kind of sitting there. And at that time, that's when I looked and I said, well, I don't think Megan is not Megan, Morgan. I don't think Morgan is a bully. I think Morgan is pissed because your ace that stabbed you in the back. That stabbed you in the back, and you just really heated about it. So it's not about you bullying her. It's that you know her. You know she got slick, sly moves. Very slick, sly moves. And then we went into the little piece of the trailer that shows us some stuff coming. Oh, yeah, Miss Ashley, girl, you are a piece of work. You are a piece of work. She's giving very much, honey, I know how to win the hard way. Yeah, you might pound me into the pavement, but girl, you'll be beating the pavement when I'm done with you, honey, making license plates. Anyway, and on that, this has been the first episode for season 1 of Basketball Wives Orlando. I think they'll be able to make it. They are messy enough, and they're young. These are a younger, more spry group of women than the OGs over at Basketball Wives LA. Child, this is some new type of mess personified. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when Love and Hip Hop hit Miami, and it was like a whole different world in Miami. Because Love and Hip Hop New York and Atlanta was one thing, but when they hit Miami, oh, they are something else over in Miami. And I think this is what's going on with Orlando versus Los Angeles. So I'm watching. Leave me some comments. Tell me how y'all feel about this new Basketball Wives Orlando. Are you going to be watching? Are you going to be watching me? I'll be watching you, watching me, watching. No time. Anyway, I'm out of here. I'm going to catch y'all next week because I'll definitely be back. I'm going to be watching. Talk to y'all later. Hit them comments. We'll talk this week. Later.